Hey guys, welcome to this episode of XY Studio. In this episode, I will build a Chia plotting machine. Chia is a new cryptocurrency. Chia mining is using the space of your hard drive. It is started last month. Mining Chia need plot files. The more plot files, the more possibility you can get XCH coins. Generating plot files, you need powerful CPUs, bigger RAMs, and more SSDs. So I want to build this machine. For CPUs, I'm using Xeon Platinum 8124M. For system SSD, I'm just picking up a cool looking one. 432GB Samsung server RAMs, running at 2666. Caching SSD, I'm using Samsung PM1635A, which is a SAS SSD, 4 of 6.4TB ones. To utilize the SAS drives, I'm using LSI 9364/8i RAID card. Because the CPU is Intel customized for Amazon, so it is more power hungry than the normal Xeon Platinums. So not every C621 motherboard supports this CPU. I'm using the ASRock Rack EP2 C621D12 workstation. It can handle this 240-watt CPU. For CPU coolers, I'm using Nocuta U12-S 3647 version. Like the LGA 2011, 3647 also has rectangular or square form factor of the socket, so the cooler has both of the mounting mechanism. The cooler comes with two A12X25 fans, which is the flagship fan of Nocuta, and it's not cheap. The 3647 version have a big contact area of the CPU. To install the cooler, you need to remove the fan first. My motherboard is a rectangular socket, so I install the rectangular mounting mechanism. This is the Amazon retired CPU. It is like to be a qualified sample. It's a bit cheaper than the formal ones. Installing 3647 CPUs, it is different from other CPUs.
这个架子上呢是有两个带这个这样的，这样放下去。 应该是安装好的。
Installing the CPU, you need to be very careful. There is only one way to put it down. Following the manual, you will first screw the corners and then screw in the center of the heatsink. Then using the latch to install the fans. While installing the fan of the second heatsink, it is impossible to pull the latch of the center side, so I'm using a string to pull the latch. Someone will say, why don't you turn 90 degrees of the heatsink to install it? Because of the socket is rectangular, so I can't do that. Others will say, why don't you install the fans first? Because the screws are under the fans. Now I'm wondering how to remove the fan or remove the heatsink. Installing RAMs, it is always the far away slot that is utilized first. Wow, the SSD is so cool. Jamming the 24-pin motherboard power, two 8-pin CPU powers, and connecting a SATA port and the SATA power, and it is ready to go. Switch on the power and press the power button. And we are in the BIOS. We can see that CPUs are recognized. And 128 gigs of RAMs are recognized. In PCIe settings, you can find 4x4 selection. That means the board supports PCIe splits. You can use M.2 split board without PLX chips. And we can see that All the fan connectors have individual controls. This is better than some server boards. And now I'm going to install the Windows. And the LSI RAID card, I'm choosing the 1GB RAM one, and also with a battery, but the seller didn't send me the battery, so I have changed it once. The PM1635A SAS drive are running very hot, so I modified the 2011 CPU coolers to cool it down. The SAS SSD running speed is a little bit quicker than SATA speed, so I'm trying to get it running in RAID 0. There are 4 phases in Chia plotting. Only the first phase, it has a big amount of writing data. Other phases don't need the burst writing. Configuring them in RAID 0, it can burst writing in the first phase. In the RAID card configuration, you need to create a virtual drive and choose the 4 drivers to configure it in RAID 0. But the SAS RAID card also has a problem. It boots like 5 minutes. It is so long while you're adding hard drives or changing devices. Then boots in Windows, and Windows find a new drive. Use it like a normal drive and it will work. In next episode, I will show you guys a CPU case that is so cool. Like, subscribe and make a comment, and share it to your friends. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in next video. Bye bye.